All right, so today we're going to take a deep dive into a property for you. Two-bedroom condo right on the Newfound River in Bristol, New Hampshire. We've got the Zillow listing for 30 Beech Street Unit 4C. And a separate note with some alternate contact info.
Oh, very cool.
So let's buckle up and see what we got. If this place lives up to its waterfront allure.
Yeah, location. Right, waterfront property's got to be prime.
Yeah. The listing describes this as a frugal and well-run condo association. They haven't increased HOA fees in 8 years.
Wow.
Can you believe that?
That's impressive. Really speaks to keeping costs down for residents.
Yeah, and it really plays up the location. Newfound River views, the village, even mountain views. Plus, restaurant shops and stores are all within walking distance, so you can get out of the rental rat race and into a low-maintenance lifestyle.
Yeah, and I think that low-maintenance lifestyle is a big draw for a lot of buyers these days. No more yard work, snow shoveling, exterior upkeep, so much more time for other things you want to be doing.
Like enjoying that riverfront access. Beach access, lake access, and riverfront. That's like the trifecta. What kind of lifestyle are we talking here?
I mean, you step out your door and you're right there on the Newfound River. Weekends, kayaking, fishing, take a dip in the lake on a hot summer day. It's like a nature lover's paradise, right in the heart of charming New England.
Sounds pretty idyllic. Now, this listing does mention something interesting. It says that the numbers only work for first-time home buyers. What does that even mean?
Yeah, that's a little bit curious. It could be pointing to some specific financing options or programs that are tailored for first-time buyers. Maybe there are grants or down payment assistance programs available. That could make this property particularly attractive for somebody just starting out.
Yeah, makes sense. Let's step inside, see what we got. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath.
Yeah.
Cozy 692 square feet. Mentioned some recent updates. Vinyl plank flooring, energy-efficient windows, doesn't have in-unit laundry. But there is a coin-operated laundry facility in the basement.
Yeah, those updates are great. Energy savings, aesthetics, and in-unit laundry is a perk. But a shared facility isn't a deal breaker, especially if you're looking for a smaller, more manageable space.
Right. There is one detail that I think we should flag for potential buyers. The heating system. Listing describes it as a propane electric wall furnace setup.
Yeah. That's definitely something to investigate further. It could be perfectly functional. But we want to know the age and efficiency of that system. An older heating system could lead to higher energy bills, potentially require costly upgrades down the line.
And speaking of potentially higher bills, what about those HOA fees?
Well, the fact that they haven't increased in 8 years is a really good sign. It's still crucial to understand what's covered by those fees. We need to ask about things like water, sewer, trash removal, and how the association handles building maintenance and repairs. That'll give us a clearer picture of the true monthly costs involved.
Right. Okay, so we've talked about the location, HOA fees, a couple things to double check, like the heating system. Before we fall head over heels for this riverside condo, let's dive into some essential financial and legal considerations.
Yeah, you're right. It's easy to get caught up in that waterfront lifestyle. But it's important to approach any real estate purchase with a clear head. Understand those financial implications.
Right. So let's talk numbers. We know the list price is $169,800. But what's the actual monthly out-of-pocket going to look like?
Right on top of your mortgage payment, you're also going to have property taxes, homeowners insurance, and those HOA fees we talked about. Even though they've been stable for 8 years, it's essential to understand what those covers. And any potential for increases down the road.
Yeah, the listing mentioned this being perfect for escaping the rental rat race. But even with the low HOA fees, is owning ever cheaper than renting?
That's a good question. That is a common misconception. Renting offers flexibility, but you're essentially paying for someone else's investment. Whereas when you own, you're building equity. You're putting money into something that will appreciate over time. And you have the freedom to customize your space, make it your own.
Okay, so beyond the basics, what other financial factors should we be thinking about?
Hidden costs, closing costs, which can include lender fees, title insurance, recording fees. You've got the home inspection. That's crucial to uncover any issues that could lead to unexpected expenses.
Speaking of potential issues, you mentioned clarifying what's included in those HOA fees. What if something major comes up, like a roof repair? Elevator replacement.
Yeah, that's where understanding the financial health of the condo association is really important. You want to know if they have reserves for those big ticket items, or if you could be hit with a special assessment, an additional fee, to cover those unexpected costs.
So how do you actually assess the financial health of an HOA?
Great question. You definitely want to discuss that with Scott. He can help you get the association's financial documents, their budget, reserve study, meeting minutes. And reviewing those will give you a better sense of their financial stability, how well they manage their funds.
Okay, so we've covered finances. What about the legal side of things? This is where it starts to feel a little overwhelming for me.
I understand. But it is crucial to do your due diligence. When you buy a condo, you're not just buying a unit. You're buying into a community governed by a set of rules and regulations. And those are outlined in the condo association's bylaws, which you'll want to review carefully with a real estate attorney.
Bylaws, rules, regulations, it all sounds very official. What kind of things should I be looking for in those documents?
Things that could impact your lifestyle. Are there restrictions on renting out your unit if you decide to move or invest in a second property? Pet policies, noise restrictions, guest limitations. You want to make sure the community's rules align with your lifestyle and preferences.
Yeah, you don't want to move in and then realize you can't have your dog or host a weekend gathering with friends.
Exactly. It's all about understanding the fine print, making sure those rules and regulations are a good fit. Buying a condo is a significant investment, and it's important to protect yourself legally and financially.
Okay, so we talked finances, legal aspects, hidden costs. What about the neighborhood itself? What are some things potential buyers should be considering?
Of course. Beyond just the obvious factors like proximity to amenities, the overall vibe, you should consider crime rates, school quality, if that's relevant to you, and even future development plans.
Future development plans. How would that affect a condo purchase?
Imagine falling in love with the peace and quiet of your riverside retreat, only to find out that there's a major highway. Or a commercial development plan right next door. Always a good idea to check with the town, see if they have any future development projects. That could impact the neighborhood's character. Or your property value.
It's amazing how many factors there are to think about when choosing the right property. I'm starting to see why having a knowledgeable real estate agent like Scott can be so invaluable.
Absolutely. Scott's expertise can help you navigate these complexities, make informed decisions that align with your individual needs and goals.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. Waterfront living, HOA intricacies, financial considerations, legal must-knows. Buying a property is a big decision with a lot of moving parts.
It is, but it can also be an incredibly rewarding experience. Finding the right place to call home can bring years of joy, create lasting memories.
So what's the final verdict on this Newfound River condo?
Well, ultimately, the verdict is yours. Only you can decide if this property truly aligns with your vision, your lifestyle, and your budget. But based on what we've seen today, it certainly has the potential to be a fantastic investment.
An affordable, charming condo in a beautiful location, riverfront access, a well-run HOA. It is tempting to picture yourself relaxing on that balcony, watching the sunset over the water.
It does sound idyllic. But remember, thorough research, careful consideration, and expert guidance are key.
And speaking of expert guidance, we encourage you to connect with Scott Buitta. His contact info is in those notes. He'll be able to answer any lingering questions and help you determine if this riverside retreat is the right fit for you. Happy house hunting. All right, so we're back and ready to talk about the last piece of this real estate puzzle, the role of a trusted real estate agent. We've mentioned Scott Buitta a couple times now. He's the contact listed on those separate notes we got.
Yeah, listings and deep dives like this one can definitely give you a good foundation, but there's no substitute for the expertise of a seasoned real estate professional like Scott.
So what can he bring to the table that we haven't already covered?
Well, for one, Scott has that intimate knowledge of the local market. He's going to have insights into pricing trends, recent comparable sales, and any kind of nuances of the Bristol area that might impact this condo's value.
Yeah, that local expertise can be really valuable, especially in a competitive market.
Oh, absolutely. He can help you craft a competitive offer, negotiate effectively with the seller, and make sure you're not overpaying. Plus, he can guide you through all that paperwork, the legal processes that come with a real estate transaction.
And remember that first-time homebuyer comment on the Zillow listing? Maybe Scott can shed some light on that.
Exactly. He's the perfect person to clarify that. Maybe there's special financing options, down payment assistance programs, tax credits available for first-time buyers.
Seems like he'd also be a good resource for those HOA questions.
Absolutely. Scott can reach out to the condo association, get info about their financial health, upcoming projects, any red flags that might not be obvious from just the listing.
So he's like a detective, an advocate, and a guide all rolled into one.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. A good real estate agent's your partner through the whole process, answers your questions, addresses your concerns, makes sure you feel confident every step of the way.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Waterfront living, HOA details, financial considerations, legal must-knows. It's a big decision, buying a place. Lots of moving parts.
It is, but it can also be a really rewarding experience. Finding the right place to call home brings years of joy, creates memories, you know?
What's the final verdict on this Newfound River condo?
Well, the verdict's yours. You decide if this property really aligns with you, your lifestyle, your budget. But based on what we've seen, definitely has potential to be a fantastic investment.
An affordable, charming condo, beautiful location, riverfront access, well-run HOA. It's tempting to picture yourself on that balcony, just watching the sunset over the water.
It does sound pretty idyllic, but remember, thorough research, careful consideration, expert guidance are key.
And speaking of expert guidance, connect with Scott Buitta. His contact info's in the notes. He can answer any lingering questions, help you figure out if this is the place for you. Happy house hunting.